Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of What and I'm back here with another video. Before we get right into it, I want to say that I will be trying to post a lot more because I'm sorry, I've been lazy and I've just been trying to write a lot of things all at once and it took longer than I expected. So sorry about that. Still want to thank Dark King What Ifs for the new avatar. So give him some love. He just reached 2K. So help him out. He makes really fun what ifs. And I hope you guys subscribe to him. And also, don't worry, the what if Goku had the Renegon, what if also the Conduit, all of that's coming out. As you know, what if Deku trained like Bakugou, that's coming to an end. It's practically at its finale already. So I know some of you might be sad to see it go, but we're moving on and let's end it with a banger. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get right into it. So last time we left off, Aizawa told the students to go get in their uniforms, so they head to their uniforms, and we're gonna cut to the locker room. Once they get inside and start changing, Deku, who takes off his clothes, gets like a lot of looks because my man is jacked, and Kirishima asks, "Whoa, Deku, how did you get your body that way?" And Deku's actually like, "There's nothing really special. My body naturally grew like this, but I can teach some of you guys a little something if you come over to my house. We can work out and stuff." That came off a little bit weird. Even like everyone's surrounding him now, just like really curious, but obviously they have to go outside. And he also read their minds. And aside from everyone, except Bakugou, who was just thinking of better ways to beat the shit out of Deku after he gets stronger. Everyone else is just thinking, oh, it's gonna be cool to work out. So they want to just show off. There's no ill intent behind that because we all like to do that. So then the boys then step out and seeing the girls, and the girls notice how tight the uniform is on Deku and blush. And to their surprise, he actually starts waving their way and walking in their direction. And they're just thinking, oh, could he be coming for me? But their hopes get crushed when Jiro runs out to hug him, and they start talking and laughing, which makes Uraraka and specifically Mina slightly mad and jealous, but genuinely, not because they're only caring about his body, but they kind of like his personality. Well, the other girls just kind of like his body. And yeah, soon Aizawa walks out explaining what they're going to be doing, and since Deku did get the highest score, he hands the ball to him and asks him how far he got it in like junior high or elementary. And Deku says that he got it around 200 meters. And it's not that impressive to Deku, but it is impressive to everybody else because even without his physical enhancement quirk, which they think is the only quirk he has aside from Bakugou, it's pretty awesome. But of course, again, Deku wasn't trying that hard on those throws anyway. And generally through elementary, he was a pretty bored kid. And since he could sense everyone's intent, he didn't really care about them at all. So yeah, sorry, I derailed a little bit. Deku then asks if he should go all out while throwing the ball, and Aizawa says, "Of course, this is class 1A. Deku then gets in the circle and pulls back his fist and launches the ball into the air, releasing a bit of wind back at everyone, but not that much. And Aizawa reached 15,000 meters. This shocks everyone present, and they're just amazed and baffled. But Bakugou is actually just getting mad and just like activating explosions in his hands. And everyone looks at him scared, but also just like, what are you, like a psychopath? Stop that. How did you get in this class? Aizawa then starts walking towards Deku and says, "Why did you hold back, Midoriya?" with a bit of an angry look. And Deku says, What are you talking about? And hold back. Aizawa then says, "Why are you lying to me? There's no point in doing that. None of your muscles were tensed up and you had a weak motion and you just didn't care. Your face was like super bored." Deku then says, "Fine, I didn't try that hard, but I can't exactly retake it. Also, I usually look like that." Everyone in the class is just shocked and starts like murmuring like, "That wasn't his full power? What is this kid?" Bakugou is increasingly getting madder and madder and is just repeating in his head, "I'll kill you, Deku, I'll kill you, Deku." You know, typical Bakugou crap. Aizawa then says, "I'll allow you to retake it, but this time if you hold back, I'll actually expel you." Deku then says, "Fine, dramatic much? Jesus." He then steps back in the circle as everyone's just wondering how far this kid can actually go. And Aizawa has pretty high standards right now, and he actually has a huge grin on his face because it's been a while since he's seen such a promising student. Deku steps back in the circle and pulls his arm back once again, but this time flexes every muscle in his body. And this time his eyes flare red. And by the way, in this, if he does get like happy, excited, or mad, sometimes his eyes do flare red. He can't control it. He can control it, but he doesn't really want to, and it scares people. But again, he doesn't care. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. His eyes flare red. He also has a big smile that appears in front of his face, and he then launches the ball with all his strength. Well, not all his strength. That's why it looks like to other people. And also pushes it a bit with his telekinesis and sends it out the Earth's atmosphere. And as it's going further and further, it burns to nothing. And this time, when Deku threw this, it completely forced everyone to need to hold on to something or anything, or they would fly away. Even All Might, who's actually watching this, had to hold on to something. Of course, only a little bit because it wasn't even Deku's full power, but it was pretty hard for him. And this also creates a huge dust cloud to go everywhere. And when the dust clears and they get stand up again and get a good look at Deku, his shirt is ripped and he just looks at Aizawa and says, "Is that good enough for you?" Aizawa then looks back down at his tablet and it's glitching while saying error, error, error. And he smiles saying, "This kid, he's not going to be easy to handle, but he'll be a great hero." Everyone goes up to him saying, "Oh, that was so cool," and all that. And All Might now is sure that he wants Deku to inherit One for All. And soon the rest of the tests go as usual, except that Deku gets first place in everything, even flexibility, because you gotta work on all categories. My duty is you have to work on everything. And soon they start to leave with Deku talking with Jiro. And this is when Bakugou snaps and just launches at Deku with a huge explosion. And this is when Deku, who notices this, quickly protects Jiro because it's not gonna hurt him, but it would definitely hurt her, and he's not letting that happen. So he covers her, letting the explosion hit his back. And this is when Aizawa cancels Bakugou's quirk and restrains him. He then says, "If you do anything like that again, you're expelled." Deku then says, Are you serious right now?" Deku gets up not even slightly harmed, and his skin is actually glistening, which shocks Bakugou. And Deku then says, "If I didn't protect Jiro, she would have probably been in the hospital right now. Expel him." Aizawa then says, "Bakugou is very talented. It would be a waste." Deku, hearing this, is extremely mad and starts getting up, up in Aizawa's face and says, "Is that all you care about? You know what? No. We're gonna do this your way. We're gonna be logical. If Jiro got hurt, not only would your reputation be ruined, but no hero would trust you. If you can't handle children, how would you be trusted to be taken on a serious mission? Or even worse, if she died under your supervision. So, you could have been put in a lot of trouble, and your so-called genius here wouldn't exactly be left scot-free. But then again, I don't really doubt that some of you motherfuckers will find a way to make it so he just goes on through your way, because apparently all you care about is talent. Wake up." Aizawa, realizing what Deku just said, is really looking down, contemplating, and obviously he has his pride as a teacher, and he kind of resents Deku right now for humiliating him, but he can't deny that what Deku said is true. Deku then walks up to Bakugou and just stares down at him after Aizawa let go of his scarf and says, "You've been pulling this type of crap for years. Grow up, or I'll make you. You know I can." He flashes his eyes, and this sends chills down Bakugou's spine and shocks everyone because he just humiliated and outsmarted a top hero. And the students are looking at Deku in a different way now, in a different light. Not all positive, but you know what? Who cares about the haters? The students then go back to class and finish up everything as usual and head home. And Jiro decides to go with Deku, with Ida coming along and apologizing. And since again Deku can sense his feelings, he knows it's genuine. And in fact, all he hears is, I'm sorry," and he's just thinking, this dude is a little too earnest. And soon Ida leaves, and by the way, Uraka doesn't come this time because she feels threatened by Jiro because they both like the same guy. So she feels as if it's gonna be really awkward because Jiro has gotten pretty close to him already. So she doesn't want to feel outshined. She'll get her shot eventually. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a scene. Deku then decides to take Jiro to her home and then goes back to his own house. And when he arrives, he sees Inko sleeping on the sofa after she cooks some dinner for Deku. And he smiles, thinking that his mom is awesome. And he just takes her up to her room, which is obviously easy, and puts her down by her own bed and covers her with a blanket. Then goes to his house and goes to his room, and contemplates what happened today and thinking that he needs like assistance, like little minions, since he thinks that Bakugou would definitely pull this type of crap again because he's an idiot. And he starts making some blueprints. And if some of you know Darkseid better than I do, you know what the parademons are as like his own creations or whatever. I'm gonna make it like his own like personal Nomus, and it's gonna be freaking awesome. So yeah, that's coming soon. The next day, Deku heads to UA like usual and arrives by flying. And when he enters the class and sits down by Jiro and talks, All Might eventually shows up with an announcement saying that they're going to be doing a hero versus villains exercise, and that they need to get their costumes and head out. The costume I haven't really thought about, but in a few days I'll draw a sketch and show you guys in the next part of this what if, and you guys can see. But for now, use your imagination. The teams are the same as the original, and Deku enters the building with Uraraka. He then starts talking about a plan and says, Bakugou will definitely come for me, so use that chance to head towards the bomb, and if it doesn't work out, I'll figure out something. She agrees, although a little also flustered because she finally gets his time with him, but now it has to be while fighting people, and is a little disappointed. Soon as they're walking, they hear explosions with Bakugou popping out of the corner and aims an explosion at Deku. Deku teleports himself and Uraraka behind him, allowing Uraraka to run away, and everyone is watching shocked because they thought his only power was strength enhancing him, but as they can see, it's clearly not. And Bakugou, by the way, is clearly visibly shocked and scared, but he's trying to keep that like punk attitude and trying to keep a still mind. Bakugou then launches an explosion at Deku again, and Deku just shoots his eye beams through the explosion and hitting Bakugou in the stomach, and he gets launched into a wall, leaving a bit of a crack into it. And he held back just enough so the ray obviously wouldn't disintegrate him into nothing. So it hurts, but it's not gonna kill him. Obviously the walls are made of metal, so that hit didn't exactly feel good when Bakugou was slammed into the wall. And some of the explosions do hit Deku, but obviously he's invulnerable, so he just walks through it completely unscathed and walks to Bakugou. And without even lifting his hands, he puts his hand behind himself like Darkseid always does. And Bakugou just starts flying everywhere and ricocheting off the wall, ceiling, back down, side to side, everything. And it's really gruesome to watch because he's obviously bleeding a lot. And everyone, including All Might, is shocked, with All Might asking him to just stop and saying, "Young Midoriya, please stop. He's had more than enough." And Deku scoffs at this and says, and looks at the camera and says, "Really? Let me show you something." He transmits what Bakugou is thinking to them, and all they hear is him saying, "Kill Deku," and Bakugou imagining how he was gonna do it and how jealous he was of him having Jiro and all of that. And yeah, everyone stumbles back a bit, surprised, and All Might is just saying, "How are you doing this? Why am I hearing and seeing these things?" Deku then says, "I have more than one quirk. This is one of them." All Might is just thinking, this kid can't turn into a villain. And Deku says, "I'm not going to be a villain. I believe in the rule of an eye for an eye, but you're right, even I wouldn't do this for long." At this point, Bakugou was already passed out, and he drops him and super speeds to where Uraraka is, and almost instantaneously. And when Uraraka tells him the situation, he just tells her to stick her hand out. And I mean, obviously she's confused, like, what the hell do you mean? And eventually she does it, and she instantly appears in front of the bomb, touching it, and they win. And yes, he can transport teleport people to other places. I'm making it so because I can, and this is an overpowered Deku. We're having fun with it. Obviously Ida is pretty disappointed, but shows sportsmanship and shakes Deku's hand. And from now on, obviously everyone looks at Bakugou in a different way, mostly in fear and just disgust, because that's not thoughts that someone who wants to be a hero should have. And they gained a fear for Deku, but it's not the same as Bakugou, because they realize that he will only punish you if you do something villainous or just straight up retarded. So yeah. Soon after going home, Deku collects some DNA from the dead body of one of his pets. I'm gonna say it's a dog or something. And using his eye beams, he deconstructs it. He then keeps the rest of like the flesh and like the DNA suspended in water and puts some nutrients in it for it to grow and just a few more things to let it just stay there and be complete. It's kind of like Cell in his incubator or whatever as he's growing, like that. And he's gonna need like a few more things to complete it, and he needs some samples. That's when the Nomus are gonna come in, and that's gonna be very helpful. So we skip to the students on the bus to the USJ, and of course Jiro is sitting by Deku and just relaxing. And Sue then asks Deku what his quirk actually is. Deku then says, "I have more than 5 quirks, but you're gonna have to see them in action. It's no fun if I just tell you. Also, I legitimately don't know how many I have. They just keep popping up." Everyone is surprised and a little bit disappointed because they didn't want to hear all his powers. But at this point, they don't even consider him human at this point because he's strong for no reason and it makes no sense. And even Todoroki, who hears this, feels pretty threatened, but you know, he's still gonna keep that kind of arrogant attitude until he gets his ass beat in the sports festival. But of course, he doesn't think that he's above Deku. He still thinks that he can fight him on equal terms, which is stupid. Soon they arrive and meet 13, and she explains the importance of using her quirks. And yes, what at first, 13 is a girl. Go watch the anime. Jesus Christ. And that's Uraraka is fangirling all over about 13 because like how Deku admires All Might, Uraraka thinks of 13 that way because she's an awesome female hero. And this is when the lights start to flicker off and on and just completely turn off, with portals just appearing everywhere, and open like a huge one opens like in the center of the USJ, and Shigaraki steps out of it with his mom. And that's where I'm actually gonna leave it off. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with other people who may like what ifs, and comment down below to tell me what you think of it, what's going on, you know, and other what ifs that you think I should do first, and give me some suggestions. But again, I might just do whatever I want at this point if I didn't mention it before, because at this point my mind is just tired. So I may or may not do whatever I want, but you know, maybe if you put it down below, I might change my mind. Also, I'll be rebooting What If Tanjiro had cremation. I'm not canceling it, I'm just rebooting it. Because honestly, Tanjiro could have been way stronger. I don't know what the hell I was doing. Don't worry, what if Asta was a conduit? What if Goku had the Rinnegan? What if Naruto was Meliodas' son? All of that, like his abilities, all of that, that's gonna happen. Don't stress. I know it's been a while. To you, it's not that long, but to me it is. And honestly, I tried to upload this video earlier, but YouTube kept messing with it. And if it doesn't work this time, I might just leave it. Anyway, see you guys next time. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Be clean and wash your hands. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.